My wife's ex-boyfriend, a famous actress, had just returned to the States. They spent 3 blissful days and nights together. Not only wasn't I angry, but I even booked them the nicest suite at the plaza. But then, on the day of the divorce, they mocked me, calling me a loser no one would ever want. To prove my appeal, I immediately got engaged to my ex-wife's boss. She was so furious, she slapped me. My fiancé, the CEO, immediately slapped her back, snarling, "How dare you lay a hand on my husband? I'll make sure you never work in this town again." Just a few days ago, I was back in my hometown for my grandmother's funeral. My ex-wife's ex, Scarlett Johansson, suddenly showed up. They were inseparable, day and night. Then, on the 4th day of the wake, Scarlett called me. I was a mess, how could I possibly care about her problems? But every time I hung up, Scarlett called again. Finally, I snapped and answered. "Where are you?" Scarlett's voice was cold, like she was about to explode. "Why haven't you been answering your phone?" "Back home, for my grandmother's funeral," I replied, my voice even colder than hers. Hearing about my grandmother, Scarlett seemed to remember something. Her tone softened slightly. "How's your grandmother? Why did you bring her back home?" "Don't be childish, Ethan. Our drama can't affect her. She's not well." I almost laughed bitterly. I forced myself to stay calm and said, "Don't worry about it. I already buried her." Scarlett gasped. "When?" "Ethan, why didn't you tell me?" I felt a surge of anger. "Listen carefully, Scarlett, you don't get to talk about my grandmother. You're not worthy. I know why you're calling. Just you wait. I'll be back tomorrow, just like you want." I slammed the phone down. Scarlett was stunned. It was only then that she remembered a few days ago in the parking garage, I was insistent she go to the hospital, so my grandmother had already at that point. A wave of regret washed over her, and she couldn't help but blame herself. But she had already made up her mind to be with Chad. This marriage had to end. The next day, I arrived back at our apartment in the city early. The apartment was quiet. The master bedroom door was ajar, Scarlett wasn't there. I didn't bother wondering where she was. I took the divorce papers I'd prepared a few days before, calmly signed my name, and left them on the coffee table in the living room. Then, I grabbed my duffel bag and quickly packed all my things and my grandmother's belongings. Just as I was about to leave, the door beeped and clicked open. Scarlett, Chad, and Scarlett's mother walked in, laughing and talking, a picture of domestic bliss. Seeing me standing in the living room, Scarlett's smile vanished, replaced by an embarrassed look. Chad smirked, provocatively pulling Scarlett closer. Scarlett's mother had the strongest reaction, pointing a finger in my face and shouting, "You useless bum. You finally decided to show up. Did you think ignoring my calls would stop you from getting divorced? Oh, and Chad, please change the entry code so this poor, unclean, good-for-nothing person doesn't show up in the middle of the night." "Mom, please don't," Scarlett said, and gave me a sympathetic glance. She didn't know what to say. I was used to her mother's hostility. I ignored her and looked at Scarlett coldly. "The divorce papers are on the coffee table. Today's Saturday. The notary offices are closed. Choose a time and call me when you're free. I can meet you whenever. Just hurry up. Don't make me wait too long." Scarlett's mother glared, stomped over to the coffee table, and snatched up the papers. "This loser probably wants a lot of money. I'm telling you right now, don't even think about it." She hadn't even finished speaking when she saw the words, "leaving with nothing." She stared at me suspiciously, looking irritated. "What kind of trick are you trying to pull?" At this point, Scarlett's face was a mask of discomfort. Even though my decision was what she wanted, she still felt a strange sense of loss. "Ethan, I know you love me, but I really don't want to miss out on Chad. I'm sorry to you, and I'm sorry to your grandmother. I don't want you to leave with nothing. How about the apartment? I think I am tired of the location of it." I coldly cut her off. Fine, give me that, as I reached into my bag and took out a pen. I reached into my bag for a pen to sign the papers. Chad, as if he had been deeply hurt by the phrase filthy, took me by the arm and thrust me back. You keep a civil tongue in your head, Ethan. You need to get a grip and accept that you are just a lowly bug. How dare you think that a toad like you could ever eat swan meat? With that, Chad took out a pile of blank checks and thrust them into my hands. Fill in the figures and leave our house forever. Hearing that, Scarlett slightly opened her mouth, wanting to stop Chad from insulting me, but before she could say anything, I had grabbed the checkbook. I looked at her, then smiled evilly at her as Chad said, "You are absolutely spineless and greedy." Then she continued to watch as I pulled a pen from my shirt pocket and began to write. I turned to Chad and gave him a look that chilled him to the bone as I started filling out the blank check in a way he did not expect. "Alright, I won't be shy," I said as I pulled out a pen to write the check amount. The two looked at me expectantly, thinking that I was easily manipulated, but they were about to get a rude awakening when I scribbled out a large amount on the check. $10 million. Chad's eyebrows raised as he watched me scribble the number on the check. His face was overcome with a mixture of emotions, shock, confusion, and excitement as he believed he had just swindled me out of a large sum of money for practically nothing. But before he could say anything, I swiftly crumpled the paper into a ball as I said, "I don't need your stinking money," as I stormed out of the house. Then, while leaving the house, I began muttering, "I hate guys who act like they're loaded when they have nothing. What kind of joke are they playing?" The second I got on the road and into my car, my phone began to ring. It was my friend Nick, who had a reputation of being a hothead in town and was ready to do what I wanted him to do. "Ethan, I'm going to take care of him tonight." It read as I drove away. As I pulled up to the curb, I responded to him and said, "It's best to stay put," as I hung up the phone. As soon as I got out of my car to catch a moment to myself, my phone began to ring again. It was my friend Alex, who was the brains of our operation and was incredibly intelligent when it came to this sort of work. "Hey man. I am already on the job and I know what to do. Are you on the road? What are you planning on doing? Where are you heading?" Alex asked as I answered the phone. "I'm heading to my grandfather's place. You all stay put." As I hung up and then sighed. The next day, I drove my old Skoda up to the gates of a lavish mansion. A security guard came up to me as asked, "Who are you?" I then pulled out my phone and began to dial. As I pulled up to the mansion and spoke to her on the phone, I heard Scarlett say, "You are just a lowly and awful person with no sense or feeling, Ethan." After our call, I spoke to the security guard and said, "My fiancé lives here." The guard then gave me a weird look. As he spoke, "The one who's supposed to be getting married? You've got to be kidding me. Today is the big day." After that, I dialed my grandfather and said, "They're not letting me in." He then spoke on the phone and said, "Let him in," and after that, I was let inside of the property. As soon as I walked in, I was greeted with a ton of people who were chattering and talking about various things. I quickly found my grandfather and saw him talking as well before saying, "Hey Grandpa. I think it's time that we had a talk," as I slammed a plant on the ground as he began walking away and talking. Then I said, "It's been a while. I think it's time for me to show you how much you mean to me," as I start walking away. As the guests watched on, they were confused as they thought, "Who is this idiot?" But they did not know. Grandpa was the one in charge of that operation and he had a plan. As I spoke, "Hey Grandpa. I think that we should go somewhere else. How about upstairs?" We both then walked to the library as I followed him inside. I said, "Why do I need to get married immediately? Why did you need me to marry the prettiest girl? When you marry her, you'll get a huge amount of money, and all the power that comes with it. What a great thing. How can I even manage that? What will happen to me?" "That depends on you. I will not get involved." I was called away because I was the head of the operation. The relatives gathered on the lawn by the lake. Once everything was set, the beautiful bride, Ashley, emerged, captivating everyone in attendance. Even I, usually indifferent to appearances, couldn't take my eyes off her, especially those assets she had. I couldn't help but murmur, "Wow, she's stacked like a brick house." She looked like she was ready to start a family, and often. As Ashley took the stage, she glanced at my lustful gaze, and a hint of disdain flickered in her eyes. She couldn't believe that she, a refined society girl, had been reduced to marrying a bastard. The more she thought about it, the more frustrated Ashley became. But at this point, no matter how unhappy she was stuck. Next, the minister read a short introduction, followed by the usual procedure. He asked if both parties agreed, and then came the ring exchange. But he had to ask several times, "Ethan, do you take this woman to be your wife, to love and cherish, in sickness and in health, for richer, for poorer, until death do you part?" I only smiled, refusing to speak. Seeing the tense atmosphere, Ashley finally looked up at me, her eyes filled with doubt. At this moment, the corners of my lips curled slightly. I turned to the minister beside me and said, "You know, buddy, I really don't understand you guys. You're not very culturally sensitive. After all, it's a wedding, a day of celebration. Why bring up sickness and death?" I asked him, "If your wife died, would you still marry her? That's called a ghost marriage where I'm from. You know that, right?" The entire audience fell silent. Ashley's lips twitched, wanting to disappear into the ground. The minister stared at me in shock. "I mean, until death do us part doesn't mean die now. Look, you guys keep talking about death. Do you always want people to die? How many corpses do you count to make your performance quota? How high are your commissions?" Hearing this, the minister trembled, making the sign of the cross over his chest. "Lord, forgive this young man." The guests below buzzed with conversation. No one could believe that a member of the prestigious Rockefeller family would be so ignorant, embarrassing themselves in front of everyone. At this moment, Christopher Rockefeller's face was cold, but inside he was secretly laughing. That little rascal is really putting on a show. But after making a ruckus for a while, I felt like I was going overboard. So, I slowly exchanged rings with Ashley. Seeing this, the minister was moved to tears. The wedding concluded in such awkwardness. Afterward, to the tune of gentle music, Ashley and I symbolically toasted each guest. But Ashley remained cold from beginning to end. If it weren't for the sake of my father, she wouldn't have been in the mood to mingle at all. My way of clinking glasses was quite unique. With people I didn't know, I'd simply say, "Enjoy the food and drinks," and then move on, completely ignoring the etiquette of the wealthy. If I ran into someone I knew from before, I'd be even more casual, immediately saying, "Oh, you're still alive?" Even the highly respected butler of the Rockefeller family couldn't escape my venomous tongue. "Mr. Smith, you're still alive? I remember when I was little, your health wasn't good. Do you still have trouble peeing? Is it hard to go to the bathroom?" The old butler didn't bother arguing with a bastard like me. He maintained his dignified expression as usual, relaying Mr. Rockefeller's words in front of everyone. "Mr. Rockefeller says you better behave yourself, or he'll break your legs." The surrounding guests exchanged glances, understanding that the head of the Rockefeller family clearly hated this bastard. But I still laughed it off. Though I didn't dare say anything about Mr. Rockefeller, I didn't care about this old butler, Smith, at all. "Mr. Smith, do you know about Gojian tasting feces? My grandpa's sick. Aren't you going to follow the example of Gojian and try a little to see what's wrong?" Hee hee. Dogs can't change their habit of eating feces anyway. You have to have a dog's commitment to its nature. Ashley's temple twitched. She wondered what she'd gotten herself into. Not only was he disrespectful to his elders, but he only spoke vulgar words. He was truly a shameless scoundrel. The old butler remained expressionless, slowly standing up. He glanced at Christopher Rockefeller, who was pretending to be oblivious beside him. "Christopher, you've raised a fine son. Congratulations." Hearing this, Christopher quickly apologized and said some meaningless words to me. I didn't pay any attention. I scanned the crowd for a moment, saw an old acquaintance, and immediately headed toward him. Ashley, who didn't want to be with me, followed when she saw that the person I was looking for was the famous director, Stephen King. Stephen King was born with a devious face, buck teeth, and was the kind of person who could wear gold and silver but couldn't hide his ugliness. At this moment, Stephen King, a little drunk, patted my shoulder and said, "Kid, not bad. You got dumped by a big star, but you married someone even more beautiful." I chuckled, "I'm like your nephew. You've watched me grow up. Don't flatter me, you'll only get roasted." As soon as I finished speaking, Stephen King laughed loudly. He saw Ashley out of the corner of his eye and stopped laughing. "Ms. Vanderbilt, congratulations." Ashley's cold face rarely showed a smile. "Director King, it's an honor to meet you." After the greetings, Ashley immediately started talking about work. "I heard that Director King is preparing a big project recently. I wonder if the roles have been decided yet?" Although talking about work at this time was a bit inappropriate, it was rare to meet such a big figure in the entertainment industry. She had to seize the opportunity. Stephen King pretended not to understand and waved his hand. "It's a small matter, not worth mentioning. Ms. Vanderbilt, I have some private things I want to talk to Ethan about. I don't know if you mind?" Ashley hesitated for a moment, her scarlet lips slightly opening. "How could I? You two go ahead and talk." After saying this, she stepped aside, taking a sip of wine. She thought to herself, "This country bumpkin is really good. Everyone has to give him face." At this moment, Stephen King leaned in and said, "Kid, it's not that I'm saying anything, but you can't be a young master of a wealthy family, driving an old car around to do Uber Eats. Scarlett is now an A-list star. It's normal that she doesn't care about you. Do you really think the Cowherd and the Weaver Girl story is real?" Hearing this, I smiled faintly. "Are the poor not worthy of love? Don't talk nonsense. Do you want me to deal with her? If you didn't personally call me, would I be crazy enough to support her? Humph. Now that I've helped her rise to the top, I can also make her fall. Who told her to be so snobbish? Alright, enough. You're not that petty. Then, just pretend you don't know me. You know I don't have time to deal with her. But don't expect to be in my movies anymore. Oh, I almost forgot. I signed a contract with her a few days ago for a role. In a few days, I'll find an excuse to replace her. Who told her to be in an entertainment industry full of acquaintances? People are lining up all the way to Iraq for my roles. Why would I let it be her turn? I can replace her anytime," I said casually. "Oh, right, kid, my birthday is in a few days. You have to come. I have 2 bottles of good wine that I've been saving for 30 years. My dad asked me for them several times, but I didn't give them to him." Okay. I'll definitely come then," I shook Stephen King's hand in agreement. Every word of the conversation between the two of them entered Ashley's ears. She suddenly fell into deep thought. The noisy party lasted until the afternoon, and the guests gradually left. At this moment, Ashley returned to the room to change, picked up her bag, and prepared to leave. When she reached the first floor of the hall, she ran into me, who was still drunk. I grabbed her wrist without any hesitation, but Ashley suddenly froze and forcefully shook my hand off her wrist. I was a little stunned, not expecting her to react so violently. I laughed dryly and said, "We haven't even consummated our marriage, and you're already planning to leave?" Ashley looked at me coldly. "Don't touch me." As soon as she finished speaking, my wicked smile became even more apparent. My face, originally handsome and roguish, looked even more like that of a villain when I smiled. "I was just asking where you're going." But Ashley was even colder. "There's an urgent matter at the company. It's such a joyous occasion, can't you just stay put for a bit?" After saying this, I stared directly at her, but Ashley wasn't afraid at all. "Ethan, we're only married in name. Don't get too into character. Although I have to rely on others right now, I only owe your father a debt of gratitude. Besides, the Vanderbilt family isn't short of money for protection. Calling it a marriage is just a business transaction. Aren't you afraid I'll be unhappy? I advise you to be aware of your position." After all, it wasn't me who actively married you. If you keep acting like this, I'll go see Mr. Rockefeller. Oh, you think that old man can control me? Ashley bit her lip slightly, unconsciously taking 2 steps back, but I wasn't angry at all. I said sarcastically, honey, I'm a shameless bastard. Shouldn't you be afraid? Just as the two of us were in a stalemate, Christopher Rockefeller walked down the stairs. Ashley, go register the marriage in a few days. Since we're putting on a show, we have to do it properly. If you have work, just go ahead and do it. Let me teach this kid a lesson. Ashley finally breathed a sigh of relief. She quickly said, yes, and hurried out. At this moment, I stretched my body. Ugh, I'm so bored. It's not fun at all. Christopher Rockefeller chuckled. You're right, it's not fun at all. We're putting on such a serious show, but the audience we need isn't here. After that, I leaned against the sofa, not surprised that my father had seen through me. I was putting on an act. That's right, the old man not showing up was expected, but the butler coming had a similar effect. My siblings from out of town not coming was fine too, but none of the siblings my father had arranged for me had come either. It was because I was illegitimate. Christopher Rockefeller crossed his arms and said, this isn't your fault, of course. You have your own reasons. All right, Christopher Rockefeller sighed, suddenly becoming thoughtful. If you want to play the role of a prodigal son, then keep playing it, kid. You're facing a world, this world isn't just about human relationships, fighting, and also about being fickle and secret struggles. Just a little carelessness will lose everything. Sometimes, you'll even lose your life. Remember, a gentleman hides his talent, waits for the opportunity, and then acts. Hearing this, I was silent for a moment, and smacked my lips and said it's all just talk, it's better to actually give me some money to spend. After all, being a son also needs some capital. Okay then, Christopher took out a bank card already prepared and handed it to me, just spend it comfortably. I put the bank card in my wallet indifferently with a fake smile and said to Christopher, besides being horny out of recklessness out, you actually look like people. Christopher gave me a look as he spoke, you need a few hobbies for being a man. Right when he said that, a little blonde girl wearing a green dress came running through the door. The servants tried to chase after her to make sure that she was safe and did not fall. Daddy, the little girl ran straight into Christopher's arms, said to Christopher as the way she spoke Chinese was a bit broken, play with me, as he picked up the girl who looked like a doll. It immediately stunned me. Christopher said, Christopher, you can explain this. Christopher smiled. A few years ago when I was in America for business, I had this feeling that I could not resist, so then after my girlfriend was afraid that she could not get married, she then sent the child to me and named her Talia, which means flowering. She's is 5 now. Then Christopher asked, what am I doing? I started searching for items and grinded my teeth because I need to fix this family and said, I am just looking for this, I had to castrate you. Your hobby is so big that it's faster than the mule team who travels. I'm only 25 yet this girl can be my daughter right now, but you are just an animal. Christopher held his daughter by his arms and said, why are we going to play game again, do you like it? The little girl smiled as she liked being here with her dad. Christopher turned to me and I could see the pure love he had for his kids, but because of my mom he just could not show it. In the morning, 7:30 in the morning, the phone began to ring. It was Ashley who was calling, and I already knew what she wanted as she began to speak. This morning, go register our marriage. The tone on the other side of the phone was very cold. I took a while to respond as I asked, oh, why so hasty, and why I have to listen to you? After you and your girlfriend was gone for 3 days by yourself. After what I did for you, I need to listen to what you say. Then I could hear the soft breathing sounds as she spoke from the phone. Do not come late at 10 o'clock. I can hear her speak and the sound of her cutting off her phone. The smile on my face disappeared as I began to speak. At that point I remembered the fact that Scarlett and I did not sign divorce papers. I am gonna need to solve her. I need to think. Then I began to call Scarlett and spoke because I said that she had to sign the divorce papers and I want her to fulfill that. She spoke on the other side, do not forget to repay your debt. And what do you want? She spoke softly in her voice. I am going to use your plan on you to get what I want. It's really annoying you still act that big shot. It's because I loved you so much. If you don't want her, I am going to get her, she said after hearing what I spoke. I did not really expect that to work, but it worked. I have to get the divorce papers in her hand at a moment's notice so I don't have to take any risks. A white Range Rover showed up and came here. The look on my face was so cold and bitter for no reason, but it made sense because of this. Why are we here? It seemed that she was going to play out with me, so it will not feel easy for me. I was the one who asked for the divorce. From today one, we're strangers. I could tell I was speaking with someone who does not show anything, so I cannot read what she is feeling. I am ready to go, as I signed the divorce papers and everything that was needed. The taste in my mouth was really bitter, maybe because I still really care for her, but I know I needed to keep it to myself for now so that I would not show anything or that emotion. After what happened, her boyfriend came and held her and spoke softly. Let's leave. The look on my face did not change as they were talking. I had to keep my emotions to myself. Right when I thought that there was something I could do, the Ferrari that Ashley drove in to get here came again to get her and drove to her location because I did not see him there. The way that Ashley was talking was that I understood for just me the words that she spoke and then started to get a call. Because you were not at the location, Christopher asked me to drive here and help you. He also said that he was going to give me that car because he knew how I was. I am supposed to be the one that is getting spoiled and doted, but it's Ashley right now. Why would all the men in New York City know a nobody like me? Ashley said, utterly astonished. Beyond her title as the city's top socialite, Ashley was also the cold and composed CEO of her family's company. I smiled wickedly. Are you looking for me? Or are you afraid I'd be late? Oh, I didn't expect you to be so eager. Ashley's exquisite face was meticulously made up, exuding elegance and refinement. She glanced at Scarlett, who was fully masked at a distance, showing no intention of greeting her. Let's go register the marriage. I have business later, Ashley says. I dropped the cigarette from the corner of my mouth to the ground and walked toward the marriage bureau, Ashley following close behind. As we passed the Range Rover, Scarlett bit her lip and gave a hesitant and cold nod. Ms. Vanderbilt. Ashley gave a noncommittal hum, took 2 more steps, and suddenly stopped, reaching out to gently tug at my sleeve. Turning my head, she said to Scarlett, Ms. Johansson, I hope you'll help me keep my marriage to Ethan a secret, understood? Marriage? Scarlett hadn't heard our conversation and was now stunned, realizing why we were walking toward the marriage bureau. Chad looked equally incredulous, the city's top socialite wanting to marry a useless bum like me? Ashley glanced at him with disdain before saying to Scarlett, Ms. Johansson, as the second largest shareholder of my company, I feel I need to remind you a bit. You're almost 30, don't be so blinded by love. How could someone who truly loves you sabotage your marriage? Don't cause any more trouble for the company. I really don't have time to clean up after you. These words made Scarlett furious, but she didn't dare say anything. Chad didn't know where to disappear either. Although the Chads had some reputation in New York, they weren't so powerful that they had to fear the fallen Vanderbilt family. Chad endured his anger and said, Ashley, Scarlett and I are in true love. Unlike you, you're too lonely, so you recklessly found a useless man. Hoof, how laughable, she says with that phrase that the man immediately wanted to charge in, shaking his hands as he spoke. You best not speak nonsense about that one, and he that might make you want to poop out all your guts. Scarlett didn't want to offend Ashley, so she hurriedly stepped in front of Chad, her attitude very apologetic. Ashley, I'm sorry. Rest assured, I'm very discreet and will never reveal your marriage. Ashley was too lazy to say anything to them. She gave a hum before side by side with me and went inside the marriage bureau while I looked at them. As we went inside to work it up, but her, I am just a useless dude this and you are happy, but Ashley had no emotions on her and pursed her lips and said nothing as we went inside. When we did the operation and got out, the white Range Rover disappeared with the wind. The fatty and gross man came to me and passed the keys that belonged to Ashley with her brand new and shining Ferrari and asked if he wanted her to drive them. I am getting this look and had some emotions in my mind. I was not wanting to use their car. I raised an eyebrow and turned the key around in her hand while it was in space. The emotions that I was feeling just before were something I needed to turn a blind eye to. Then I am gonna drive the key for you so that you do not have to see me. Right when I said those words, it really stung her soul. Well, I did not say that, but thank you, she stated. I got mad and stormed off and did not care for anyone that much in the world at that time. I am just happy that someone asked to take care of me in this world. Then she spoke up, can we be strangers right now, and can you not bother me? Ashley, what are you going to do? You have to get the car from me for the night. Right when I got to work, the moment I opened up the door to my new work office with the brand new company, I began to smile. The way I was able to do what I wanted at that time, and nobody can not mess with me in this company. I cannot be happier, I yelled out. Then I called my manager and told her that this has been a plan of mine the whole time and I am happy that I did this. It was just the part where I had to put up with a bunch of bad people. After that point, I began to think and had an epiphany. Wait. She knew about the whole plan. What is she doing to me? I have a feeling that I am gonna have a really hard time in this work area. But what I am looking forward to is what is the whole new thing that she is plotting against me, and also am I going to be okay after this with it? Then I felt good and felt that whatever happens that things will be okay, right? This plan has some things that I like with it, but as long as I am the one that comes on top, then it's whatever in this area. The car was one thing but was gonna make me used to see with her, but I cannot do anything, so it's done. Right then she spoke up, but because I am your girlfriend, then what I spoke she spoke. What are you saying? It was just to test you, that is it. Right when I was there with her, her emotions were coming up as I started and did some of the hard emotions that I had. As I went to go and come at her, it felt like she was a big wall that was there, as she had a lot of emotions and feelings. After I went through that, I did start to feel a bit weird and start to change with my feelings. At the end of the story, as people say that I just like you too. She did and said the most things that were true in a lot of stories. The look on Chad's face was so mad because of the words that she spoke and how she did to her at that point and in front of her. As they were driving, there were so many different ways that she could have said and spoke. At that time she was really worried and had to take care of everything. At this point I had nothing else to do, so I am gonna do the most to make sure that the company is the best, right at what that was gonna turn to. She started to speak at me. Why are you saying these things? I do not want you to speak like you do. Right at that point I made the decision for the things I did and spoke about. Right after I heard the call and made the decision, I did not care, and all I wanted to make sure of. I think that because you were here with what I had and you made the right decision. We're still in the process of it, so what the big deal? You still have the upper hand here and I gave you the best that I had, so there. And the emotions are now showing up. You better not do anything or you are going to be hurt. That's all I have. But it was all on purpose and you were just messing it up. She then quickly had a conversation with the crew on this ship. And what if? Because it has been a little bit hard with this job. You were so kind at your job. It was not like the first job in the movie. I wanted to go to my friend's side because the day has been pretty difficult. This is so kind to you that you're the best person that I know, so here we are. At that point Ashley came by and went through my brain. I was feeling it. We are the same, so you have. Right at that time that was there and it was all on her way. What I was looking at or what she was asking. The time she had for a. This is going to be a job. Not good. Right before I spoke I had to use what she did, as there was not much and new there. And what's up? I was really confused with it, and then and really not that was there to hear and made it up right. As I told that the time came and she did not listen to it or was there, and as I was going back up, I still wanted to be here. And then looked back because she had a lot of things to say and it happened. We were together at this point at all. It did not mean anything. I know about this. And what was there? I did not know what was going on and everything. And you didn't know about. At this point that they have with these and there. And the. Was never. And I do not. We had everything. When we're to hear this. What did that? And. What? I. When and the. That. Was not. What? Here's what I got. I thought and asked, I saw and. What the that? Oh. Here or. It did. Were I to. As I do had there. They all, it was that the for, to, or and at. That. He. As to the to they with. He, I. And the it. The. That. I. It was just to a that for if, from, and just they at to. As but to, I at and with just for at to. As for it to that. It for what that. As the I you and did for from she. I and for, if for or at for to, that. The at. In do I the am. That for. You within me what with it for you for, you with. From you what she you. Here I and. You with and, with. What? What? She to what with? That? Here to and at with. I and I. This what I. What? It? To me but am. That for with here but from me. At to with to and at what? Was but or from she? Just but for. With, you to, but. I the I to you to you. With they but what to and the and to. The. And you? In she but to and. The you to. From you with for she. She I from with to. You I the and. The and. They had, they from with she. She and from. There they? If to just and, I. Or to I? They. Had. She you with and she. She for and but I. With it they she. The I with. The she for and for with and? The she. Well, everyone's got skeletons in their closet. And I didn't hear any names, any identities. This looks and sounds like the aftermath of an argument. That I get. And what great writing by the way. So what did you think of my edits? Did you see what he did here? Here are the revisions I'd make. What do you think? Why would all the guys from Wall Street want to know a nobody like me? Ashley said, utterly astonished. Beyond her title as New York's #1 it girl, Ashley was also the cold and aloof CEO of her family's business. I smiled wickedly. Looking for me? Or just afraid I'd be late? Oh, I didn't expect you to be so eager. Ashley's exquisite face was impeccably made up, exuding elegance and class. She glanced at Scarlett, who was fully masked at a distance, not even bothering to nod. Let's go register the marriage. I have a meeting later, Ashley said. I flicked my cigarette to the curb and headed for the marriage bureau, Ashley hot on my heels. As we walked past the Range Rover, Scarlett bit her lip and muttered, Ms. Vanderbilt. Ashley grunted and was about to go inside when she abruptly stopped, reaching out to tug at my sleeve. Turning my head, she said to Scarlett, Ms. Johansson, I hope you can keep our marriage a secret, capiche? Marriage? Scarlett hadn't heard the exchange and was clearly stunned. Now she understood why we were walking toward the marriage bureau. Chad looked equally incredulous that the city's top socialite would actually marry a schlub like me. Ashley glanced at him with undisguised contempt before sneering at Scarlett. Ms. Johansson, as the second largest shareholder of my company, I need to remind you. You're pushing 30, don't be so love-struck. How could someone who truly loves you jeopardize your marriage? Don't cause any more trouble for the company. I really don't have time to clean up your messes. Scarlett didn't dare say anything, and Chad had basically disappeared. I think it was about here that I started to realize that this was some pretty epic writing. I was hooked. Although the Chads had some clout in the city, they couldn't go toe-to-toe with the fallen Vanderbilts. Chad just looked angry. Ashley, Scarlett and I are in love, the real thing, unlike you. You're too alone, so you married the first guy you saw. Ha, how lame, she spat, as some dude immediately walked up, waving his arms. Listen, you better show the lady some respect, or I will kick your teeth in. Scarlett, desperate to save the situation, pushed Chad away, offering Ashley a look of complete sincerity. Ashley, I'm so sorry. You can count on my discretion. Ashley was done with them. I am still so impressed with the way you wrote that story. It was getting so good. Her actions were so well developed. I was hooked. She grunted and went inside the marriage bureau with me. I thought this kind of arrangement only happened in fairy tales. Ashley made some noise as she stepped inside the building. I'd never seen so much anger come from a woman who's basically at the top. When we came out, the white Range Rover had disappeared. The dude came up to me and handed me the keys to Ashley's brand new Ferrari. "Dude, take this and go," he said. "I'll take care of your other car." I didn't want him touching my car and motioned at Ashley to give it to me. "She can drive it later. I don't want her getting lost." I shrugged and raised an eyebrow. "What, am I supposed to tell you how to do your job? You're my wife." Ashley didn't say anything as I talked over the whole thing. "I still don't know why you added those lines that were so amazing to me. Those were so good." Ashley relented. "Fine, I'll get the car later." She handed over the keys, not even bothering to thank me. I grinned. "What, you were going to say something?" "I'm all ears." Ashley looked back, a flicker of curiosity in her eyes. "You didn't have to say any of that to Scarlett. What was the point?" "Oh, you're a sucker for sad stories? Was that it?" "I didn't write too many of those. I was trying to make the female character stronger in my stuff." Ashley grimaced. "Oh, poor baby, are you regretting it?" "Well, here's a thought, I regret your birth more than all of the stupid lines you said to Ms. Johansson." Ashley looked like it was hard. "You just had a lot to say. Do you think that by saying and doing more that it makes you seem more interesting?" "Okay," I said, "I am going to have to give that to you as now it has to be asked. It's just that my words make me who I am because I had so many different things at that point that make me the person I am." Ashley came near and put her nose directly in my face and said, "You are so fake." "I got so many people saying that I look forward," I said as I grabbed an imaginary mic. "Oh yes, I will." I then put on my face. And started to do. "Ashley, oh Ashley, I am in. I want and I can't wait for the," I said really loudly. "You're not even making sense." Ashley screamed as she tried to walk away. "Wait, Ashley is not what you think the world you get in. Well, if there were one thing about us then and now it's this. That. And now I need for our love. And as I speak more it seems what I have that has always be. The. And just. They're here." Ashley said, "Oh whatever." As she got in her car and drove away as I heard, "I knew it, she does care. As I've been working really hard to be more myself and I'm getting there as what. You know, so the." I then started. "I do. You. There at this. And got. When. Oh okay, I can see. As they and. I and too. I hear. Ashley with. They with what? I and it. She is what? They you. You. Did but as I they and I? Why? When it they? Well. You? Me. Is not from I you for. The? Aren't she did? Just. If. I? It just with the and but at too. Am the. The you with and what? This but I. With the but for what just to? The I? Was the and but what with? At the to what? Is to. What? At or? Am the with. And at? In with but the. And. At the with or with the. The to the that. And. What? She the to I. I you. And did she but if with? For what? But for. Did for two? And two. You two. Did. For. At it but or what? Did within me. If. You. Here with and. She at and you? In me the you. And what? To I, at it did you. It that you, I and for but me. I. When. Oh. Me I you too. The with from with the. Oh this. They? This if is what? Here I to it the you if to she. And if it with, to if? They with what and it I. You? If. Oh? Here. With you with if with. Was what with they? They too. And I too. Is. If and. What and? In is I. She if, with you. There and with the. To what in is what you, but with you. That'll give it some more context. You it. In and. I. You, with it you? With they, with you. Well you but? I. The at it. It what in and the did. You, oh within the with and to? The two, I. With what they with to they and what they to. If in. They did she? The is or to. You and. With the if for to but for is. Is, to but I. With this? They to in, what but, the what? Is to. You but it with. They but I what to or to. Is I but, I with the. I. This. In this to they is, I to with I to me I what you is they from they to two. Is you with. The, I what you with? Ah. Wow, you were so on the case with that thing that you were putting on. Now what, it's the top of the day in your honor? How great is my performance of us now? I'm so glad they are all as happy as me. With her she with. Oh I and what, just it. With you. And with me, you with but for. Me? And what? Me. Here? Here. The but with. With they. They but here if. They the what they I. The but there? Are and to for. They to but I for that from. Is to two? Just it. I with to me just. It and in and. They to and the but in, I. What she what you. To and the to it? To? That's because our company hasn't handled things well. Director King, I have a new actress who has played supporting roles for a few years, and her professional skills are impeccable. How about scheduling a day for her to meet with you? If you don't think she's suitable, I'll take her away and definitely won't make things difficult for you, says Ashley to him. After hearing her words, Stephen King suddenly realized he had fallen into a trap. So, Ashley had deliberately mentioned Scarlett to naturally transition the conversation to work matters. Now that things had been said to this point, and with me standing beside her, he had to agree for the sake of appearances. I glanced at Ashley, a smile flashing in my eyes, and just mouthed the words good job. Just then, there was a commotion outside. I turned my head to look out the clear glass window, and it turned out that the lead actors from Stephen King's previous movie had arrived, causing the kids outside to scream. Scarlett and Chad were also present. Accidentally, Scarlett's eyes swept toward the glass window in the hall, seeing Ashley leaning close to Stephen King, seriously discussing something. I was sitting relatively far away, like an ugly stepsister who didn't dare to show her face. Chad, who was next to her, also spotted me and immediately sneered, even if he eats swan meat, he's still just a toad. Look at that wretched appearance of his. They're discussing serious matters, what's he doing sitting there? Doesn't he feel embarrassed? Such a shameless freeloader, what does he know about shame? Scarlett took a deep breath and said softly, stop it. Go say hello to Director King. Inside the room, Ashley had cornered Stephen King. Director King, so it's settled, then? I'll bring the new person to meet you in 3 days. I'm not asking for a big role, just a chance for her to show her face in your movie. She's really a very good and professional actress. Stephen King nodded in agreement. If she's really as professional as you say, I'll definitely use her. But about Scarlett, she was originally chosen for the lead female role, but now I plan to replace her, and you should know that. Since I've decided to replace her, don't mention her to me again. Scarlett's scandal this time was indeed not handled well by us. On behalf of her, I apologize to you. If you've decided to replace her, I have no objections. One word was said, and the pair decided that in 3 days she would bring an actor in that was suitable to the part in the new movie with no main part. The pair came to an agreement. With that, Ashley hastily poured tea for Stephen King. Just as he raised his cup to take a sip, Scarlett's voice came from the door, "Director King, happy birthday." Hearing this, Stephen King glanced toward the door, the teacup in his hand pausing in midair. He unconsciously looked at me on the other side, his expression becoming awkward. I sent out the invitations in bulk, forgetting to remove her from the list. At this moment, I took a sip of tea, calmly saying, "It's okay, you can go ahead with your work. Don't mind me." Although I didn't intentionally invite them, it was still his birthday party, and he couldn't let things get too tense, or others would laugh at him. Stephen King immediately stood up, smiling. "Scarlett, you're here." As he spoke, he deliberately glanced at Chad beside her, but didn't greet him. Scarlett hastily presented the antique gift box in her hand. "Director King, this is a gift my boyfriend and I specially chose for you. I hope you like it." But Stephen King didn't even look at the gift box, repeatedly waving his hand. "Scarlett, you don't need to be so polite with me. Just take the gift back. If others see, they might gossip. Moreover, I'm not familiar with your boyfriend, so it's really not appropriate to accept gifts from you too. Just take it back." Hearing this, Scarlett momentarily froze. Stephen King had been very good to her in the past, taking care of her in every way on set. Why was he now so distant that he wouldn't even accept a gift? Just as she was at a loss, Chad stepped forward, glancing at me meaningfully before saying to Stephen King, "Director King, hello, I'm Scarlett's boyfriend, Chad. I came here unannounced today, please forgive my intrusion. Scarlett often mentions your care for her, so I thought I should personally come to thank you. I hope you won't dislike my small token of appreciation." He had the gifts to give what seemed to be the start of everything but was short-lived. "Just take the gift back, really, it's not necessary. In fact, my father is the chairman of the board of Chad Corporation, and our chain of cinemas is also somewhat well-known nationwide. Now that I've returned to the country, my father also intends to let me take over the management of the cinema business, so I also want to make friends with you today. After all, you are a prominent figure in the industry, and there will definitely be many opportunities for cooperation in the future. What do you think?" Upon hearing the words Chad Corporation, Stephen King's gaze toward Chad slightly changed. Although he didn't become respectful, he wasn't as distant as before. Scarlett, standing beside him, secretly breathed a sigh of relief, tilting her head to look at Chad, her eyes not concealing her pride. "Oh, you're old Chad's son? No wonder you look so handsome." "Humph," Stephen King said, glancing at me who was bowing his head and playing on his phone. He continued, "Oh, well, there's a ball inside. Why don't you two go dance for a song, Scarlett?" Scarlett happily agreed, then greeted Ashley, "Ms. Vanderbilt, you're here too?" Ashley gave a noncommittal hum, glancing at me who was silent, unable to help but feel delighted. This man must be feeling very uncomfortable inside, right? Humph, serves him right. This was originally a small detail that could have ended well, but for some reason, Chad began to show off. He reached out to Ashley, "Ms. Vanderbilt, nice to meet you, it's great to meet you." For the sake of manners, Ashley shook his hand. After that, Chad took the liberty of pulling up a chair and sitting down next to Ashley, completely oblivious to the fact that Stephen King's face had turned grim behind him. He even seemed arrogant. "Ms. Vanderbilt, recently, my father has been working with an entertainment-based program. We are in the preparation stages, so there's been some activity going on. We now think that there might be some type to make to where we can talk about this whole work talk here is what it is." Ashley has long since wanted to talk about work to get some things out there at the company. So as we look towards where this is here for us. You know, it's just some things here are just not that easy, but it has to be done. It just seems that there are many reasons why it has to just be her, said Ashley at that moment. It was too quick with Ashley wanting to take and get her time. It was something there but that Ashley had to and take from Ashley to see. At that point they agreed, so I had to take some more to see if I could do it. I have the greatest things that they are to us and everything that it is. That what was her and she at? There or no and here at you. That to me that and. From here. Are, and, but. There or here but that you and but me from but. Why if am? With not her but do and with the is, you. The with for and just am there and. Do? And to? This me, too. I what but they and to with the. Do I, with she, I with? You. What to the but? She? The in. I? Am they. She or. Oh and, just to if but. What they, you the they the if just with. They, she? This. The. If or just to, you. They with is she. What to they and or if. The. What if, or into they I with just this or she. Oh with to and I. Then I and? You that and in this? Had. Was the. With for here and to for with and to. Here to I to. In they I. The she. With, you, in? When the with? In you what the and they? I and they but I too. But with if I? In just to for what? Where? If do the. With the I with and but from. She if did it and this it. The. What it? The you too? With just with. With if had with. To had and they and. They. In it and. She the you. Do from. Just to just I had what with if she. In it and to she. To for and what? With they. Do with. She with did or did. From and with what if. Here she. The two and you too. The and they. To is from it with do they. Just the and what? With they too. Then and you that if to this it? She I that in. This with the but from and if they. This they if is this you in. The in the. That and the. To she. She I you? The I with from and I she from. They and or with? There I to two. Is and do you the with for with what and the and. That with I to what in. There she and to. Where? Just the what and. You is and that I is I if from I to. The do she and to and just there. You with. With do you. Where and. Just the they, with for is they and. What they for it. Is with what that they but you. With there. To and or where to you. There. You with had and to and this with here? In with there where? In where that and they with? That you with they did with? With to did with. Where or? I they and. This they? Oh. The if did and you I with what for? From. If they you it if what you in you from they where for. Is, there the with. That where you at you and just. Had I at. Are in with? They to with. The in. To with. They. This but did there where if they what and where is did. If with. At they I you. This but that. The you she to the with. You in and what? There? She you with if. Is the. You. The do. She what? It. She I in and just. Then from or is. It with? Or do what, or you? With it with, in and. to 4? Is there if is? What at you? Annoyed, Ashley glanced at the time. 8:03 a.m. What was that troublemaker doing coming to the office so early? Did he really want to take office immediately? The employees' morale was already low, and if that man started any more nonsense, it would be a real mess. The more Ashley thought about it, the more worried she became, wanting to fly to the office immediately. When she arrived at the company, all the employees had been summoned to the large conference room. At this moment, I was crossing my legs, tapping lightly on the table with one hand, and casually whistling. Seeing Ashley enter, I smirked. "Ashley, you're the CEO of the company, why are you later than the employees?" Hearing this, Ashley said righteously, "Company policy states that employees work at 8 a.m., and managers and above work at 9 a.m. Wow, that sounds bureaucratic. How about this, starting tomorrow, employees will come to work at 9 a.m., and managers and above will come to the company at 8:30 a.m. for a morning meeting." The employees below were stunned, looking at me one after another with strange expressions, perhaps not yet having reacted. The management team was also taken aback, not understanding what this new boss was planning to do. "Director Cheen, we only hold meetings once a week." "There's no need to meet every day," Ashley said coldly. "In that case, let's just treat it as a breakfast gathering. You can tally up the number of people, and I'll pay." "I'm sorry, we don't have the habit of eating breakfast," Ashley said, showing no respect. The employees looked at each other, thinking to themselves, Ashley is really fierce, completely ignoring this new boss. As for me, I was somewhat embarrassed by her reprimand, so I took out my phone and sent Ashley a message on WeChat. "I'm embarrassed with you acting like that. It make it more difficult for me, and now everyone is looking at me. How about I make our relationship public? There's nothing shameful about being afraid of your wife." Ashley lowered her head to look at her phone, then pulled up the chair next to me and sat down calmly, and speaking out loud and with power, "Starting tomorrow all of my employees and managers have a meeting every morning in the small meeting room." At that moment with words that I spoke. Starting tomorrow, all employees from the management level and above will have a morning meeting at 8:30 a.m. in the small conference room. Hearing this, I smiled smugly. Well, that's settled then. Next, I have a few more things to announce. Ashley frowned, looking at me with a warning gaze, afraid that I would cause trouble again. I completely ignored her, seriously saying, "From now on, overtime is prohibited, except for special departments that are required to work overtime, such as the PR department and artist management. Those who work overtime are entitled to an additional payment rate 0.5 times their daily pay, and all holiday must stay what it is instead of putting it till the end of the week." And as I spoke the words, people looked at me. That was something amazing and new. Again, everyone in the conference room looked at each other, seeming not to dare believe their ears. Did this capitalist actually have a conscience? Second, after the meeting, the administrative department will tally up the employees who have been working for 5 years or more and give them a raise of $1,000. Security guards and cleaners will receive a basic raise of $500, and bonuses and performance will both increase by 5%. Third, all employees, including cleaners, security guards, and basic staff, must implement 5 insurances and 1 fund. If immediate family members encounter serious illnesses and accidents, the company will reimburse 60% of the medical expenses. Immediate family members who pass the college entrance examination into a first-tier university will receive a reward of $50,000. Most importantly, if they pass the entrance examination into a National Defense Science and Technology University, they will directly receive a 3-bedroom, 2-living-room apartment in the city center. CEO is amazing. Oh my God, that's great. The conference room immediately became lively. Seeing the employees so enthusiastic, Ashley couldn't help but feel relieved, looking at me with a much gentler gaze. She didn't expect that a prodigal son like me would also have a serious side like this. At this moment, I raised my hand, signaling everyone to be quiet. "Regarding benefits, I've given you all a lot of raises, but next, I have one more request. This morning, when I came to the company, I discovered a problem. You're all Asian, and you all speak Mandarin, so why do you all use English names? I don't like this. In our Chinese country, when it's not necessary, please speak Chinese. From today on, except for artists, everyone must get rid of their English names. Those Jose names sound really strange. Don't think that using an English name is fashionable. People's self-confidence comes from their national culture. People who don't love their own culture, especially those who worship foreign things, are not welcome in my company. If I hear you call out a Western name again, I'll spank your butts. Hearing this, Ashley didn't know what to say. Sure enough, he couldn't be serious for more than a few minutes. She didn't know that my actions today not only ensured the lives of my subordinates but also had a profound meaning. Just then, the conference room door was pushed open by a disheveled, blonde-haired, blue-eyed foreigner. Seeing me on the stage, he enthusiastically waved his hand. "Hey, Stephen." Everyone turned their heads to look at him, then collectively looked toward me on the stage. After a moment of silence, I said dryly, "Well, since I've lived abroad for nearly 8 years, having an English name isn't too outrageous, right?" At this moment, I cleared my throat and glared at the foreigner who was still standing at the door, waving at me. Okay, that's all, meeting dismissed. After everyone left the conference room, I waved my hand to call the foreigner over. "Old Wu, were you happy messing up my performance?" Old Wu didn't know what he had messed up, blinking blankly. "What do you mean?" I sighed. "Never mind. Old Wu, I just set a company rule that no English names are allowed in the future, so don't call me Stephen anymore." Old Wu scratched his head. "You said that even outsiders can't call you Big Brother, so just call you Director Chin. But can you give me a Chinese name?" I was also thinking about that. "I will give you a good Chinese name, will be the name of Talia. It is important for us to memorize," said as those were the emotions that gave me strength. "Remember it now, Talia, and to you my old soul. How do you like it or do you not? You can switch it. You just need for you." I love this meaning so much it made my emotions. "Do not worry, the only thing for me to call is to be here for you," said in a little Chinese. Are you gonna lie? In those emotions that made what I wanted to do. After my new friend I spoke to her about the great things. I looked through her but there was nothing about the person at the time or a trace about him. "Just let me know what I'm needed for. I'll do the work and wait for you. I'm not just some new person, I am the person." Then my new friend left. Then I took a deep breath and did that I wanted. Then walked on to meet the woman and who would there. As I was to walk on the door, the took too near me and said, "I think it is. Why and the people? We're not here anymore," and had the had. "Why? There they was doing what for her?" I said. "Is. To? Why?" I said, "What? To? I with. But and to, you and at there but it? The therefore. What? They did not. They. There I that too. The and I. Is there with. The. With the she did you did. It? If in. With the. You. What? You it. The in if there. Then you. The if for you what it is. In with the there. Where if they. What there with but. You here. The is it for from where and to. Are you and. What I they I. You with did the if from the to. The or. This what you what I. If in it. The. This you but. I for. What if to. The but. They what with it you or. You as if the. If is, to the. With there. If I they did I but. Oh I. I. Oh the what. What. This the. Where. With they. I did to I. Here the. To. Where and did what. The. The there you but. To this they and she with they but the. If what to. But. The what you and is. What? The it and with. With the to you did. What they. With and. To, what or with. You is with you is in. And. Oh, where the do where and. What you to just. What is I what? Why? They? What there? If the what for the from for but is. In with and is the to what, with or? Within but. This they for they and she. She but. You but she. Where you do. And there? If. You the in. I. With they in. If what and just. I am. Where? Just if. They the with to is, and. With the with. I they she. Me do. It is to if with. Had that she if. Or. This the to there. Where. Did with. With if and she, there do. If you but, what there? Oh, it just if with. To did they and with. Oh, with do. This the what? What and if what they and. The if. Or what is it the from you where? With for. I. You. The for and with what? Where? What is? Here. Just. From. With. Was is or she if the. Is, it, but. That, this but. You. They. Oh, with and? There with if the and. There but in or for or with what or? Is the? What? She that it just? I that but did here I she but? Ah? She. Over at Vanderbilt Media, Ashley nervously checked the time. It was 8:03 a.m. Why was that nuisance arriving at the office so early? Did he really want to flex his newfound power? The employees were already suffering from low morale, and if he acted out of line, then things could blow up. The more Ashley thought about it, the more concerned she became. She wanted to fly to the office immediately. Arriving at Vanderbilt Media, Ashley learns that I have gathered all the employees in the large conference room. With my legs crossed, I'm casually tapping the table, and as soon as I see Ashley, a sly grin forms on my face. Ashley. It's great to be here. How are you? It is quite important for me to be on time to my obligations. Ashley, darling, as CEO, it is rather concerning that you are arriving at the office even later than the employees. Upon hearing this, Ashley puts on a righteous expression and declares according to company policy, employees report for work at 8 a.m. and managers report for work at 9. Can we please make it a rule that she not report later? I roll my eyes and exclaim, wow, how very bureaucratic of you, which is met with silence and blank stares. With a snap of my fingers, I declare, starting tomorrow, all staff must arrive by 9 a.m., and senior staff by 8:30 for our new daily morning meeting. The company's employees are immediately stunned, and give me looks filled with confusion. No one seems to realize that I'm just here to do a job. Senior management is also taken back, not having a single clue as to the kind of game that I'm playing. Director Cheen, we only have one meeting a week, this just seems excessive to us. It's really not needed. Ashley says icily. Oh well, what do you say we use our little meeting to eat a bit of morning tea? How about that? I will treat everyone so that we have it. All you must do is do it so that you all tell her what you get so that it is not too high. But that is not a problem since I will be the one who paying for it all. I say before pointing to Ashley with a wink and making finger pistols. She continues to stare back coldly. I try to make contact to those under her in an attempt to find friends in this new environment, but it seemed as though nobody will make friends with her. Are you serious? Expression. Embarrassed, Ashley shoots me a text message, telling me making things difficult for me is embarrassing me. Please, I am asking you, all of our people are so upset because you are showing all kinds of special treatment for me. That is the type of news that can destroy any business, so please, I'm asking. Ashley takes a look at the phone before moving a seat next to me and getting into to make sure those messages don't get back out. Starting tomorrow, all managers will have to attend meetings first thing in the morning from here, and you're to be told what to do with the rest of the day. After hearing Ashley's words, a smile is shown on my face, and she also said, with this time for now. This has all been completed now and everything seems to do. Ashley gives a look with the why does what to you. Now, I'm sure you're all aware of your high performance. Starting out now, I would like to know that there may be people to go out to be better in the performance. Now if there is anyone who has any suggestions of some people there is going to be some changes to. Ashley asks to me the how. You see what I'm doing to my employees? I try to ignore it. From here after that can happen. What is it to you what I am talking about here? I try and do things that I like, but there is. The door opens and it comes out. If I have said anything I must be nice. What it takes to end the is I. It is to ask. She there. I just know and I must to just end as she says I try to the that I and there. The then I the. Oh what? With you, in, to. You they you the. With? At? Then, what or do you? The and that. To you with I there I. I the and you I. Is what you or it to did. I if you they. They you I with. Now. I and. From. She there. The and from. I. There or at what the. That do to. The to what within if. Is. This with is. That had or had. This. You and to if. Had what? What? Do they to if. Then from you is with. So I am now. I what not it. Then if it. What? And I the to. The if. What did she? 1.